Good day, everyone. Today, we'll be exploring the life and legacy of Benjamin Franklin, focusing on his autobiography and the inventions that made him a prominent figure in American history. I'll guide you through the key moments of his life, from his humble beginnings to his remarkable achievements. And we are also going to dive into some of his most famous inventions. So now, let's begin. Benjamin Franklin was one of the most influential figures in early American history. He was a founding father, a writer, a scientist, and an inventor. Franklin played a key role in shaping the United States not just through his political contributions, but also through his discoveries and inventions. His autobiography, written in the later years of his life, offers a personal look into his development, his values, and the principles that guided him today. I mean, on his time. So now we are going to look back at the first four parts of his autobiography and discussing how his early experiences led him to become a man that we know today. Now, in the first part of his autobiography, Franklin talks about his early life and his family background. He was born on January 17, 1706 in Boston to a large family. His father, Josiah Franklin, was a candle maker, and his mother, Abaya Folger, came from a family with strong religious roots. Despite growing up in a modest household, Franklin learned valuable lessons from his parents, especially the importance of hard work and moral values. His father wanted him to follow in his footsteps, but Franklin's passion for reading and learning led him to pursue a different path. Franklin's early life was shaped by the challenges and opportunities he faced within his family. His father's strong work ethic and his mother's emphasis on religious discipline had a profound impact on his character. Although his family couldn't afford to give him much formal schooling, Franklin's love for books allowed him to educate himself, setting the stage for his future achievements. And actually, the first part of his autobiography was actually written for his son, William Franklin. And I may tell you one of the truths about his family. So, is Franklin family, they're actually really large. In fact, he has 16 more siblings. So all in all, they are 17. Then his mother and his father, so they are 19 in the family. So that is why, maybe that is the reason why Franklin only studied 2 years for formal education, and then he became independent afterwards. Now let's proceed to the part two of his autobiography. So I'm so sorry for that technical error. That was actually part one, not part two, not part one. So on the part two of his autobiography, it is all about his apprenticeship and education, his apprenticeship towards his brother. So at the age of 12, Franklin became an apprentice to his brother, James, which is a printer. And despite limited formal education, he continued to self educate through books, and Franklin developed an interest in writing, publishing the Silence Do Good letters under a pseudonym. So, in the second part of his autobiography, Franklin described his apprenticeship to his older brother James, who was a printer. At just 12 years old, Franklin was sent to work for James, who ran a printing business. And Franklin wasn't always happy with this arrangement, as he felt that his brother didn't treat him fairly. However, he learned valuable skills during this time, especially in printing and writing. So while working for his brother, Franklin became writing letters under a pseudonym Silence Do Good, which were published in the New England Courant, a newspaper owned by his brother. Although Franklin had limited formal education, which is again 2 years, he continued to educate himself by reading books. He was an avid reader and spent much of his free time reading works of literature, philosophy, and science. So this self-education laid the foundation for his intellectual development and his later contributions to society. His early experiences in the printing business also set him on the path to becoming a successful writer and a publisher. Next, on the part 3 of his autobiography, Franklin talked about his morality and intellectual development. So in the third part of his autobiography, Franklin discusses his quest for moral perfection. He decided to develop a list of 13 virtues which he thought would help him become a better person. These virtues include qualities like temperance, silence, order, resolution, and humility. And Franklin wanted to make these virtues a regular part of his life, so he created a detailed plan to work on them daily. Each day, he would focus on one virtue, tracking his progress and reflecting on how well he had practiced it. So this method, self-improvement, was very structured, and Franklin took it seriously because he believed that by constantly improving himself, he could contribute more to society. And although Franklin admitted that he never fully achieved perfection, of course we are all human, no one is perfect. So he felt that this practice made him a better and more disciplined person. So even if he created those virtues, 13 virtues, still uh, dili ta malimot, or we are not going to forget that we are just a human. And human always make a mistake. Now let's go to the last part of his autobiography, which is his public life and achievements. So Franklin rise in public life from a printer to a respected civil leader. He was involved in founding the Pennsylvania Gazette, which became influential in American colonies. His scientific experiment, such as the discovery of electricity, and his role as a diplomat during the American Revolution. So, in the fourth part of his autobiography, Franklin reflects on his public life and achievements. By this time, Franklin had become a respected figure in Philadelphia, where he had moved after leaving Boston. He became the publisher of the Pennsylvania Gazette, which became a leading newspaper in the American colonies, and Franklin used these platforms to express his ideas and opinions on politics, society, and morality. Franklin also became involved in civic activities, founding institutions such as the first public library in America and the first fire department in Philadelphia. And his success as a printer and publisher helped him gain the recognition he needed to pursue other ventures, including scientific experimentation and diplomacy. Franklin's involvement in the American Revolution, where he played a crucial role as a diplomat, helped secure France's support for the American cause, and his efforts contributed to the success of the revolution and the founding of the United States. Imagine the boy who once studied formal education for just 2 years already nakahimo or he made a building for a public library, and that is the very first public library in America. And of course, he also set the first fire department in that land also. So Franklin has really huge contribution to America, and not just in America but also to the whole world, because his achievements, other than that, his experimentation already natuyok na around the globe. Now let's proceed to his inventions and innovations. So Franklin was not only a statesman and writer but also an inventor. Some of his famous inventions include the lightning rod, bifocal glasses, and the Franklin stove. Benjamin Franklin is perhaps best known for his main inventions, and he was not just a writer and politician, but also a creative thinker who used his knowledge of science to solve practical problems. Some of his famous inventions include the lightning rod, again the bifocal glasses, and the Franklin stove. These inventions showed Franklin's ability to take abstract scientific concepts and turn them into something that could improve daily life. So now we're going to take a closer look at some of these inventions and the impact they had on the world. So the first one is the lightning rod. Franklin invented the lightning rod to protect buildings from lightning strikes. The rod conducted electricity safely into the ground, preventing fires and damage. His inventions revolutionized the way buildings were protected from lightning. So one of Franklin's most important inventions was the lightning rod. Actually, the lightning rod is still pakaron and was actually gina um, ginahatagan jud og kanang ang magtaod bitaw og kuryente kay hatagan jud nila og kanang suggestions ang ilang customers to buy this type of rod because it can be safer to the building that they are going to kanang tukuran nila. This is present in every buildings that we are going to we see, even here, even sa mga balay na ay lightning rod. So Franklin was fascinated by electricity and conducted many experiments to understand it. After learning about the dangers of lightning strikes, he invented the lightning rod to protect buildings from being struck by lightning. The lightning rod works by safely conducting electricity into the ground, preventing fires and damage caused by lightning. This invention was groundbreaking because it saved lives and prevented property damage. Before the lightning rod, lightning strikes were a major cause of fires, especially in cities. Franklin's invention revolutionized the way people thought about electricity and safety. And actually, guys, I'm going to play a video about the importance of this na kani siya nga inventions is actually buwis buhay because Franklin itself tried to he himself try siya nga siya gyud ang magkuan bitaw kanang Itan. Siya dyan try sa iyahang inventions. So, one example of that is, I'm going to play it on a video, but let me tell you about that. No, one time, ulan kaayo, and then, dagan kayo lightning, dagan kayo dalugdog. No, kilat. Yes, kilat. What he did was, he grabbed a kite, he make a kite, and then, nagpalupad siya og kanang kite, tabanog, dadto sa gawas. No, imagine, it is a rainy day and the lighting was very bad that day kay bagyo daw to siya. And then, what's even worse is, nagkuha siyang key, yabi, iyahang gibutang dato sa tumoy sa kanang tabanog. So, what happened? Ito siya, dato niya napamatud-an nga, it is really dangerous. The lightning is really dangerous. So that is why he invented the lightning rod. It's for the safety of the people around him. No, dadto ramon ta sa ilaha. However, ning abot gid siya sa tibuok kalibutan. So that is why we are very thankful to Benjamin Franklin because of his knowledge about science, his experiments, his innovations. It saved a lot of people and even properties. Now, let's proceed to the other invention of Franklin. It is the bifocal glasses. So Franklin created bifocal glasses to address the problem of needing two pairs of glasses, one for reading and one for distance. So his design combined two lenses into one, allowing people to switch focus between tasks without changing glasses. So another of Franklin's invention was bifocal glasses. As Franklin's got older, he found it difficult to read small print and also struggled to see things at a distance. So instead of using two separate pairs of glasses, Franklin came up with the idea to combine both types of lenses into one. So this way, people could use the same pair of glasses for both reading and seeing far away. His design was simple yet effective, and it quickly became popular. Bifocal glasses improved the lives of many people, especially older individuals who needed vision correction for both near and distance. Today, bifocals remain a common solution for people with similar vision needs. So, if nakabantay mo atong glasses, bitaw siya. Glass. Dayon, sa iyang glass, naapoy isa pa diri nga gamay. That one, kay mo to siya pang reading, kay makabasa man to siya og dugol, kato. And then, the one who is outside, the lens, the small lens, is for the person to see from afar. No? So, actually, kasagaran, ginagamit siya sa mga tigulang karon. So mao gid nay madali-dali for reading and for seeing from far away. So that is the use of one of the inventions of Benjamin Franklin, the bifocal glasses. Now, we also have the Franklin stove. The Franklin stove was designed to provide more efficient heating with less smoke. This innovation was a significant improvement over the traditional open fireplace, and it became widely used and was a precursor to modern wood stoves. Franklin invention for the Franklin stove was another major contribution. Before this innovation, people used open fireplace to heat their homes, which were inefficient and produced a lot of smoke. This Franklin stove was designed to heat rooms more effectively and with less smoke. It worked by directing the heat into the room while reducing the amount of smoke that escaped. So the Franklin stove was an improvement over traditional fireplace and laid the groundwork for modern stoves, wood stoves. It provided more warmth and comfort while improving air quality inside homes. And this invention is a perfect example of Franklin's practical thinking and his ability to solve everyday problem. Because as we all know, during holidays, for example, December, no, the start of October or September, matingali na mag-snow. No, syempre init. I mean, it is very cold from their places. USA, one of the places who will have snow every winter. Of course, winter is a good summer. Okay, every who has a winter season. So some of the people uh, before uses a modern wood stoves for them to be heated. But because of the invention of Franklin, that was the Franklin stove, the traditional fireplace was um, kanang nailisan siya into this. And other than that, it provide more warmth and comfort while improving air quality inside homes. Because sa una, katong mga wood lang bitang ang ginagamit is kuan kay siya kanang it is also dangerous, especially for those people who has a difficulty in breathing or kahana sila kanang sakit. They might be asthmatic, no? And the smoke can also lead to a lot of difficulties and sakit sa lawas. So it is very dangerous yun. However, when the Franklin stove came, no, nabawasan ang kanang kato ng mga hinungdan. So, actually, daghan pa kaayo. Franklin has a lot of inventions and innovations, but we are just going to discuss three of them, which are the ito, lightning rod, bifocal glasses, and the Franklin stove. Now let's go to Okay, so in conclusion, Benjamin Franklin's life and work continue to inspire people around the world. His autobiography is more than just a personal account of his life. It's a guide to self-improvement, moral development, and achieving success. Franklin's inventions, writing, and diplomatic efforts have had a lasting impact on society. He was a man ahead of time, embodying the ideas of the Enlightenment and contributing to the founding of the United States. Franklin's legacy lives on many innovations and ideas that we'll use today, and his autobiography serves as a reminder that anyone, no matter their background, can work towards self-improvement and make a difference in the world. So that would be all. Thank you so much for listening.